Hi, and welcome to Campus Mortgage, the mortgage industry's leading provider of underwriting, processing, quality control, servicing, and closing training. Before we get started, please take a moment to read Campus Mortgage's disclaimer and keep in mind the information contained in this video is time sensitive and subject to change without notice. Let's get started. Now we will be discussing part 2 of a 3-part video series, and we will continue to talk about Title 101. In part 1 of this series, I went over some key reasons as to why title insurance is needed. Now, in this series, I would like to dig a little deeper and discuss some more issues that could arise on the title report or flag as a red alert. So let's go to the next slide and start talking about them. Here are my reasons listed, and first you're going to see forgery. This can happen all the time. So you want to make sure that everything really makes sense and that the title insurance is in fact a real title policy. So there are a lot of key elements that you can look at on the title policy to make sure that it is in fact not a forgery, and that is the title policy number, or you can call that title company and just verify that it is in fact a truly issued policy and that the borrower is just not handing over something that they created. Second, you want to make sure that the signer or borrowers are of age, and the law requires that any home buyer needs to be over the age of 18 years. Incompetent. Many times, adult children try to take advantage of their ailing parent, and they try to refinance and get cash out of the value of the home without their parent realizing what they're trying to do. So make sure that the borrowers taking out the loan are actually the borrowers listed on that chain of title and ownership of that original title policy. It may contain fraud. Yes, many times the borrower will get a copy of that title report, and the underwriter, such as myself, will come back to the borrower and say that unfortunately the loan has been declined due to a reason on that title report, and that borrower tries to pull a fast one and will try to white out that area of concern and then fax the title report back in. But as an underwriter, it is our job to make sure to get in contact with that title company and make sure that that issue had been taken care of. Will issues. There are a lot of times that the wills have been contested. So if that will is in contestment or that property, you want to make sure that that's all resolved before you move forward with the transaction. And under duress, you want to make sure that the person is doing the refinance purchase of their own free will and that someone isn't forcing any of those parties on the title to do something that they don't want to do. All right, on this next slide, I have some more reasons listed. And the first one here is title has been subject to a federal tax lien. If that's the case, then that federal tax lien has to be paid in order to come off that title report. So that'll be in the hands of that owner taking care of that before the new purchaser will be able to take title of that property. Second here is that the person trying to do the transaction actually does not even own the property. So you want to make sure as an underwriter that you're comparing the person taking out the loan is in fact vested on that final title policy. Judgments, the same as federal tax liens, judgments can be on that title report, and any judgment is required by whoever put that judgment that the owner vested has to pay off those judgments to get them cleared off. If those judgments aren't taken care of, no new transaction can transpire until those have been taken care of. And last here, I put that the borrower is claiming not to be married, but they are in fact married. So when you get that final title policy, you're going to see that the original title was taken out in Mr. and Mrs. And you're seeing this refinance come through as just a Mr. So you want to dig a little deeper, see what's going on. If they are in fact divorced, you will ask for a divorce decree and work accordingly to resolve the issue. On this last slide, I put some red flags for you to watch out for as an underwriter. I know the title policy contains a lot of information and it can be very overwhelming, but these are some key things to look out for. And if they don't make sense, then there's an issue. And one here I put taxes. You want to make sure that taxes are current and up to date. And if they're not, then you need to process accordingly to get those taken care of. The CC&R, easements, agreements, trust deeds, encroachments, notice of violation, court orders and judgments. We just kind of went over what judgments are. And yes, those all need to be taken care of before the title will be clear. Bankruptcies, notice of pending action, which could result into a bankruptcy. And last here, statement of information. So these are all really good areas to look at to see if any fraud is happening. And I just wanted to provide you with a list so you can reference back to these areas at any time. That concludes part 2 of this 3-part video series. For more tips, videos, and for a full list of courses offered by Campus Mortgage, please visit our website at www.campusmortgage.org. Thank you, and as always, make it a great day.